pulling up, it's like dreams pulling up, I'm like.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm back with a new video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some side hustles and businesses that you can start from your home today. So if you're interested, then keep watching. So before I get into the video, I do want to say a few things. My channel has kind of been like all over the place for the past, since I've started it. I started off as a hair channel, started doing makeup, I started doing all these things, and I have a lot of experience in a lot of things, and I think that the best way for me to use my platform and for me to stop fighting my calling is to talk and make videos more about navigating through the 9-to-5 workspace, being an entrepreneur, and things of that sort. So I am going to be tailoring my content more towards that. I do work a 9-to-5. I've been working for 4 years. I graduated with bachelor's in computer engineering, and right now I'm doing my master's in engineering management, and I've been working for 4 years, so I do have a little bit of experience in that. I do have experience starting my own businesses. I started the year off pretty strong, and then Corona happened and I just kind of lost all momentum, so I'm trying to get back on track. To get into the video, I know there are a lot of videos online that talk about side hustles and stuff, but I'm not here for quick money. I know side hustles are side hustles so you can make money on the side, but I'm all about longevity and building businesses that will last and will last a lifetime and longer. I personally don't really like side hustles. I don't want to transcribe stuff. That's not the type of stuff I'm going to suggest to you today. Some of these things that I'm going to suggest to you today do require a bit of skill, but they are businesses that you can start today. But I do recommend that you do your research. Never just jump into anything. I would say some of these things are more related to creative content, just because, you know, that's what I like. More creative, more artsy type vibe, but it all depends on you. You can always take my suggestions and apply it to your life. The one thing I will say before we actually get into the video is to make sure that you always have a target market and you have some sort of niche that you're catering to, because that's very important. You can't cater to everyone. You can't please everyone. So making sure that you have a target market. For example, I have this pair of glasses. Let's say you want to make glasses, right? Maybe you want to target like young, on the move, on the go entrepreneurs. So you need to make sure that your glasses kind of please or fit that type of audience type of thing. So we'll talk about it more as we get into the video, but I just want you guys to have that in mind before we actually start. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to suggest to you is kind of like quick money, but it still involves a lot of research on your part. The first business that you could start is a dropshipping business. Dropshipping is basically where you don't have the inventory at all. You just manage basically the online website and people buy from you. Even though they buy from you, they're basically, in layman's terms, buying from the actual manufacturer. So you're just the man in the middle. So they buy from you and you tell the manufacturer, hey, this person has placed an order, these people have placed however many orders, and they ship directly to the customer. So one platform that I would suggest for that is Shopify. They actually have a drop shipping app. So I think it's called Oberlo. I think that's how you pronounce it. And basically you can go on there, and this is why you have to have a target market, right? So you can't just go and put bunny toys and dog toys and foam rollers and purses and cameras all on your website. You need to make sure that your website is tailored towards something. So for example, let's say you want to start a nail business or something. You go onto the Oberlo app and you go look for all, you know, the nail stuff, and you kind of figure out what you want to put on your website. The way it works is you kind of download the products to your website. Whoever comes to your website can shop. I've bought from drop shipping people before, especially during Corona. There are logistics behind it. You do have to make sure that whoever you're working with for the drop shipping has to have a reasonable turnaround time as far as the shipping time. You don't want something to come 3 months later when it was supposed to come a month after purchasing or something like that. So those are kind of the things you need to think about when you do that. So that's drop shipping. I have a link down below if you're interested in starting your own Shopify store. The next business that you can start from right now is YouTube. YouTube has a host of opportunities for you to be able to monetize and start a business. YouTube itself is a business. Besides the ad revenue that you can make from videos, it also opens you up to opportunities from brands and stuff like that, depending on your niche. This is once again why you have to have a niche. If your channel is all over the place, brands may not want to work with you because you don't fit with their brand message. So for example, There's this one channel I really like. She has a fashion channel, and I watch her a lot because I really like her style. If I can find the name of it, I'll put it in there. Her channel is based on, from my perspective, is based on minimalist fashion. When you look at her channel, you know that it's a fashion channel. You want to have a target market and you want to have a niche on YouTube. And we can talk about niches in a different video. MKBHD, Marcus Brownlee. His videos are all tech. You're not gonna see fashion videos on his channel. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by a niche. And back to the point of not being quick money, YouTube is not quick money. You don't make money from YouTube day one. It takes a while of building your channel, building your content, building your following for all those coins to kind of add up and for it to become a business. Some people have viral videos that go viral overnight and boom, they done made it. But it's not like that for everybody. So you really need to invest and put time in realizing like what it is that you want to do on YouTube and then going after it. Third business that you can start is blogging. Blogging obviously is not, I think it's still popular. When I started doing content online, I started blogging. I love to write, actually. I really love writing. So blogging was my thing. And then I realized, oh, I could just talk to a camera. The good thing about blogging is that, once again, you have to have a niche. If you follow blogs or if you're into reading blogs, you go to a certain blog website for a certain type of content, right? So if you're a mom and you're into mommy content, there's this one blog that you go to, or several blogs that you go to, because they do mommy content. If you like fashion blogging, there are several bloggers that you go to. It's the same thing as YouTube. Building up your content, building up your following. You're not gonna make money from blogging day one, but it can be really lucrative. One of the ways you can make money on your blog is, number one, putting ads on your blogs, Google ads. Depending on how much traction you have and how many people come on your website, you're not gonna make that much money at first, but you know, building your content over time and really becoming a reputable name in your desired industry will make that happen over time. And opportunities open up with blogging just like they do with YouTube. If you love writing, blogging might also be something for you. It's not quick money, but it does add up in the long run. The fourth business that you could start, and you could start today, is photography. Photography is really lucrative. It does require a level of skill that not just anybody and their mom has. For example, wedding photography is really expensive. People are charging $5,000, $6,000, and people are paying $5,000, $6,000 for wedding memories. I know that, you know, now during Corona, people aren't having as many weddings, definitely not as many big weddings as before. If you're into photography, if you have a camera, if that's something you're into, now is the time to develop that skill. Videography is also the same way. People will pay top dollar for skilled videographers. You think just anybody could shoot Beyonce's videos? Like I said, it requires a certain level of skill and a certain degree of investment. Buying cameras, buying lenses, doing your research, taking classes, practicing all the time. But as you build that skill, you're able to charge more and more. I don't suggest selling photos online. My friend has sold photos online, and a lot of photos he'll get like 10 cents. Like that, no. We're talking about a real business here. Like, I want you to think very big. If videography is your thing, I want you to think wedding videography. I want you to think music videos. I want you to think TV type deals. That way, when you start now, you have that type of end goal in mind. Same thing with photography as well. I want you to think magazines, you know, being published, charging top dollar for your skill set, weddings, events, all those types of situations. I want you to think along those lines. So I know people aren't traveling as much, but another business that you could start is Airbnb. I know a couple of people that have Airbnbs that are making thousands and thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars a month. Depending on the location, depending on the time of year, and depending on how much you charge for the Airbnb, you could be making top dollar every single month. It's kind of like real estate, but you don't have to put that much money in because it's a place that you already own, unless you're doing really good and you want to start leasing or buying other properties to do Airbnb. I actually stayed in an Airbnb where I realized the girl actually lives there, but whenever she gets customers in, she will go stay somewhere else. So there are several ways you could do the Airbnb business. You could start with renting out your place. You could start with renting out a room in your place. I personally am really big on safety, so I will not be in the house at the same time somebody else I don't know is in the house. But of course, it depends on you. If you have the money, you could go out and lease a property or lease an apartment or anything and do it that way. If you have a business partner or you have a friend or a family member that would like to also do that, you could go half and half, on a lease and do it that way. If you know a little bit about real estate, it's like real estate with just not as much capital involved. Number 6 business that you could start is writing business plans. This can be a little bit of quick money. However, a lot of time and effort goes into writing business plans. If you're really good at writing business plans and being analytical and doing research and stuff like that, writing business plans can also be a very lucrative business for you. Depending on the business, depending on the size and the scale, you can charge upwards of $300, $400 to write a business plan out. Let's say they have all the information that they need and they give it to you. Maybe you're not gonna charge as much. There are some people that are starting big companies that need very detailed business plans. I would suggest that if you're good at it, start, go ahead, market yourself, put it out there. Number 7, a clothing store or an online e-commerce clothing store. I pick clothing specifically for a reason. There are several ways that you could go about this. I'm a fashion designer and I'm very big on originality, so I would prefer to make my own clothes. So that involves research in fabrics, manufacturers both here in America and in other countries. It requires research on sustainability. If you are into building a sustainable business, it requires research on sizing, on the fashion industry, of course on your target market. You have a specific niche that you're marketing to. If you want to be original and you want to come up with your own designs and you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. That one is definitely going to require a lot more money and a lot more time and a lot more research. Another option that you could do for starting your online clothing store is to do private label. Private label is basically they've already made the clothes, they've already made the products, and what they do is they just slap your label on it and they give it to you and you can sell it that way. That way, all you've done is research on the company, research maybe on the clothes, a little bit on the fabric. You kind of already have an idea of what you want to sell, but you're just putting your own label on it and it's yours. People do that for makeup brushes. People do that for clothing, of course. People do that for edge control, for hair products, for actual hair. There are several businesses that you can start doing private labels. That's something I would also suggest. Another business that I thought I would include because I think it's really interesting and I haven't seen anybody talk about it is a jewelry business. And I'm talking both the low-end type Charlotte Russe, Forever 21 jewelry and also, higher end, you gotta source diamonds and stuff. There's a lot of work that goes into starting a jewelry business. You have to think about sensitivity, the percentage of certain materials in your products. You have to think about allergies and stuff like that. You also have to source. So there are several ways you can source. There are websites like Alibaba and I think DHgate as well. And there are several other wholesale manufacturing websites that you can look at to find a vendor, basically source materials and products. One thing I really like is that a lot of the manufacturers, at least on Alibaba, and I will give you that for free, go to Alibaba and do your research. If you're also interested in me doing the research for you, I do have vendor lists that I have for sale. And I'll put that in the description box down below if you're interested. A lot of them will actually do custom work. One thing I do a lot is I make sure that manufacturers can do custom work, because as much as you want to sell and you can sell and make quick money, having something that's original to you that you started is dope. And that's something I would always recommend. And I would also encourage you to do is do original custom work. Honestly, if you start a jewelry business, I will probably buy. I love jewelry, especially if it's pure gold, because I'm allergic to a lot of things. Another business that you can start, like I said, it does require a level of skill and research, is video editing and graphic design. You can't just say you're a graphic designer and not know how to use Photoshop or Illustrator or any of those apps. Like, if someone comes to you for graphic design, you need to know what you're doing. And if someone comes to you for video editing, you also need to know what you're doing. So if you have any of those skills, or if you are willing to learn, graphic design, video editing, creating websites, all of those things are very lucrative, especially if you do it really well. If you have any of those skills and you are able to market it and you have proof of your skill, definitely look into starting a business around that. You could make your own website, you could go on Fiverr, you could do like ads and newspapers, all that stuff. And you could always start with doing the little things. Like if you just started doing graphic design yesterday, somebody who needs the skill of someone who started yesterday is in the market for the skill because they don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely consider that as well. So the last business that you can start that I would suggest to you is selling an ebook or selling a course. This could also be considered quick money. However, for you to sell an ebook or a course, you have to have a level of expertise. You don't have to, I mean, you could BS. You have to have a level of expertise in what you're talking about to be able to sell a course or sell an ebook that people will actually buy. If you have no knowledge about macros and working out and fitness, you can't sell an ebook or sell a course on how to lose weight because you have no expertise. Even if you do sell it, after a while, people are going to see through the BS. So you can do courses on Udemy. You can sell courses on I think it's Teachable. There are several platforms that you can use to sell courses. Make sure you do your research. You could do your ebook in PowerPoint for all we know. You could do your ebook in Word. You could do your ebook on Canva. There are several different ways for you to make an ebook that is nice, interactive, professional looking, and will attract customers. And all these things, a niche is important. Marketing is important. Knowing your target market. Those three things are intertwined. And then marketing to that niche will help your business grow as well. So like I said, these are not side hustles per se. They are side hustles because you can start them on the side of your 9-to-5. I hope this was helpful. I hope you got some ideas. There are a lot of things that I didn't say here, but you can use some of the points that I said to think of a new business idea that you could do. I am big on building wealth and longevity in business. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you need vendor lists, check the link down below. I do custom vendor lists and I also have vendor lists that are pre-made. So make sure to check the link down below if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you and God bless. Bye.